Hello everyone. The third lesson in our curriculum, checkpoints program, is about indices. Indices or exponents or powers. There is many words to express this lesson. Indices, if I ask you about what's meant by 5 to power 3, like this one, 5 and small 3 above it. 5 to power 3 means 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5. 5 multiplied by itself 3 times. 5 times 5 times 5. It will be 5 to power 3. This number, which multiplied by itself times, is called base. And this number, which express the number, you multiply the number by itself. How many times you multiply 5 by itself? This is the power. Power or exponent or index, it's a plural it is indices. Index, singular of indices. Power or exponent, we have base, which is the number itself, and power, which expresses how many times you multiply this number by itself. Okay, 5 to power 3 means 5 times 5 times 5. 7 to power 2 means 7 multiplied by 7. Any number raised to any power, multiply this number by number of times which the power expresses or indicates. We have rules. You have to remember these rules or memorize these rules. When you multiply like bases like this one and this one, the same base, a to power m multiplied by a to power n. When you multiply like bases, add their powers. Example, if you multiply 5 power 2 times 5 to power 3. Keep the same pace when you multiply like bases. Here we have same paces, 5 to power 3 and 5 to power 2. The same pace is 5. Keep the same pace and add the powers. When you multiply, you add the powers. When multiplying like bases, add their powers. 2 plus 3 equals 5, like this one. But when you divide like bases, subtract their powers. When you divide 5 to power 7 divided by 5 to power 2, this will be 5 to power 5, like this one. When you divide like bases, subtract their powers. When you multiply like bases, add their powers. If you have power like a to power 2 and raised to another power like 5, multiply the powers. When you have power raised to another power, multiply them. It will be 5 to power 10. Like 2 power 2 raised to power 3, raised to power 5, and so on. Power raised to another power, raised to another power. You have several powers. Multiply all of them. It will be 2. 2 multiply 3 equals 6. 6 multiply 5 equals 30. It will be 2 to power of 30, like this one. Any base raised to the power of 0 equals 1. Any number raised to a power of 0 equals 1 except 0 itself. 0 to power of 0, this quantity undefined, okay? Any base except 0, any base except 0 raised to the power of 0 equals 1. What about the negative power? Is the negative power means negative result, like 2 to power negative 2. You know that 2 power 2 equals 4 because 2 multiplied by 2 equals 4. Is 2 power negative 2 equals negative 4? No. No. 2 power negative 2 means 1 over 2 power 2. The negative power means 1 over. 1 over the reciprocal of the base. The base here 2 over 1. It will be 1 over 2 power 2 or 1 over 4. Another one. 5 power negative 2. Get in your mind 5 power 2. 5 power 2 equals 25. You know that 5 power 2, not 5 multiplied by 2, which equals 10. 5 power 2 means 5 multiplied by 5, which equals 25. Get in your mind 5 power 2, which equals 25. The negative power means 1 over. It will be 1 over 25. 3 power 4 equals 81. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. But 3 power negative 4 equals 1 over 81. You have here negative power. You have to put 1 over 81. The square root of any number, like this one, square root of a power 6. You have to divide the inner power by the index. You know that square root we have here 2, but we don't write it. 2 as index, but we don't write it. So to get this result, put a the same piece and divide inner by outer. Inner by outer. 6 divided by 2, which equals 3. If you have a power 10, square root of a power 10, inner divided by outer, it will be 10 divided by 2 here, which equals a power 5. Let's go over the examples like this one. 7 to power 5 multiply 7 to power 2. Keep the same pace, which equals 7. Here we have like paces. So keep the same pace, which equals 7, and add the powers. 5 plus 2 equals 7. It will be 7 to power 7. Here we have like paces, but dividing like paces. Keep the same pace, which equals x, and subtract the powers. 8 minus 3 equals 5. Here we have power raised to another power. Multiply them. The first one, we add the powers when we multiply like paces. The second one, we subtract the powers when dividing like paces. Third one, we multiply the powers because we have 2 powers. If you have more than 1 power, multiply them. It will be y to power 20. Evaluate any number except 0 raised to the power of 0 equals 1. 4 to power negative 2. In your mind, get 4 power 2, which equals 4 times 4, not 4 multiplied by 2. 4 times 4 equals 16. Put 1 over, it will be 1 over 16. 27 to power third. Power third means cube root. Cube root to x. This power 1. Okay? Divide inner by outer, it will be x to power third. Square root of x equals x to power half. Why? Because we have the above x power 1 and the index power 2, and the square root, it will be x power third. So when you see power third, put instead of power third, cube root of 27, which equals 3. There is another way. 27 equals 3 power 3, like this one. Raised to power third. As I said, when you have 2 powers or power raised to another power, multiply them. Keep 3 and multiply 1/3 multiplied by 3, it will be 1. So the same answer, it will be 3. Simplify the expression. Multiply the coefficients 2 and 4. Multiply the numbers first. Firstly, you have to multiply the number. 2 multiplied by 4 equals 8. A power 3 multiplied by a power 1. Here 1 invisible, okay? But you have to know, if you don't have a power, you have power 1. A power 3 multiply A power 1, it will be A power 4, like this one. B power 2 multiply B power 5, it will be B power 7, like this. Divide, the same. Divide the numbers, 10 divided by 2 equals 5. Then divide the bases. X power 5 divided by x power 2, keep the same base x and subtract, because we divide 5 minus 2 equals 3, x power 3, and y, here y power 2, here y power 1, it will be y power 1. We don't write 1, but we know that y raised to the power of 1. Find the value of n. 2 power n, okay? 2 power n, keep the left side and get the result of the right side. On the numerator, we have multiplication, so keep 2 and add the powers. 5 plus 8 equals 13. Divided by 2 power 6, it will be divided. Subtract the powers. Keep 2 and subtract 13 minus 6 equals 7. We have the same base. Here 2 and here 2. So we have the same power. N equals 7, like this one. Another example. Five power 2 equals 25 plus square root of 121. 121 is a square number. Square root of 121 equals 11. So it will be 25 plus 11 equals 36. Like this. Complete each statement with the correct power of 10 from the box. From the box, the first one has been done for you. 10 thousandths, the same as 10 power 4. 1 million, 1 million, has 6 zeros. It will be 10 power 6. 10 multiplied by itself 6 times, you will get 1 million. It will be 10 power 6. 1,000, which equals 10 power 3, divided by 0.01 equals 10 power negative 1. 0.01 equals 10 power negative 2. 0.001 equals 10 power negative 3. Keep in your mind. 0.1, the same as 10 power negative 1. 0.01, the same as 10 power negative 2. 0.001, the same as 10 power negative 3, and so on. 0.0001, the same as 10 power negative 4, and so on. Here, this 10 power negative 2 decimal point after 2 digits from the right. So it will be 10 power negative 2. When we divide, we keep the same pace and subtract the powers. 3 minus negative 2. 3 minus negative 2 will be 3 plus 2, which equals 5. It will be 10 power 5. Here, right? 10 power 5. Square root of 49, which equals 7 plus 36, 6 power 2, it will be 43. Match. 7 power 0 equals 1. 1 multiply 7 power 2. 7 power 2 doesn't equals 14. 7 power 2 equals 49. 1 multiply 49 equals 49, which match with 7 power 2, like this one. 7 power 0 equals 1. Multiply 7 power 0 equals 1. 1 times 1 equals 1, which equals this one. 7 to power 6 divided by 7 to power 2. Keep the same pace, which is 7, and subtract the power. 6 minus 2 equals 4. 7 to power 4, the first one. 7 power 2 multiply 7 power 1. Don't forget, there is 1 here. but we don't write it. 7 power 2 multiply 7 power 1, it equals 7 power 3. This one. Calculate 4.5 power 2 multiply by 2 power 2. Remember, here we don't have the same pace, but focus your mind. We have the same power. If you have the same power on the multiplication or the division, you can keep the same power 2, like this one. We have power 2 and power 2. Keep the same power and get the multiplication operation, the answer of the multiplication operation first. Keep 2 as a power, same power. We have different paces but same power. Keep the same power and do the operation. 4.5 multiply 2, which equals 9. 4.5 multiply 2. 4.5 plus 4.5 equals 9. 9 power 2, which equals 81. Here, 28 multiply 16 plus 14 multiply 16 over 14. In this question, we can use HCF, highest common factor. What is the common factor between this operation and this operation? There is a common factor. Here we have two factors, 28 and 16, and here we have two factors, 14 and 16. We have 16 in common between the two operations. We have common factor, which equals 16. Factor out this factor, get 16 outside the bracket. Okay, if you factor out 16, the remainder will be 28. 28 remains plus 14 remains, all over 14, like this one. Do the operation or perform the operation inside the bracket, 28 plus 14, which equals 42 times 16 divided by 14, like this one. We can cancel out 14 with 42. 14 divided by 14 equals 1, and 42 divided by 14 equals 3. It will be 16 multiplied 3, which equals 48, like this one. Again, factor out the common factor outside the bracket. The common factor between this multiplication operation and this one is 16. Factor 16 out the bracket. 12 remain 28 plus 14 all over 14. Perform the operation inside the bracket, which equals 42. Multiply 16 divided by 14. We can cancel out 42 and 14. Both of them divisible by 14. 14 divided by itself equals 1. 42 divided by 14 equals 3. It will be 16 multiplied 3, which equals 48. Here we have to start with 10 power 5 multiply 10 power negative 6, because these are like bases. Keep 10 and add the powers. 5 plus negative 6 equals negative 1. It will be 72 multiply 10 power negative 1. Remember, as I said before, when you see 10 raised to negative power, change the operation before the 10. It will be divide instead of multiplication. And instead of 10 power negative 1, it will be 10 power 1. Change the sign of the operation and change the sign of the power. It will be 72 divided by 10. It will be 7.2. Like this one. Match. 3 multiplied 10 power 3 will be 3 multiplied by 1000, which equals 3000, like this one. 3 divided by 10 power negative 2. Look, 10 raised to power negative 2. Change the sign. Divide will be multiplication, and change the sign. It will be 3 times 10 power 2, which equals 300. 3 divided by 10 power 2, 10 power 2 means 100. 3 divided by 100 equals 300, 0.03. The first one. 3 multiply 10 power negative 3. When you see negative power above the 10, change the sign of the operation and change the sign of the power. It will be 3 divided by 10 power 3, which equals 0.003, like this one. (23) minus 3 multiply 3 all power 2. Perform the operation inside the bracket. We perform the multiplication before the subtraction or division. Always multiplication and division before do the multiplication and division, or perform the operation of multiplication and division before the addition and subtraction. 23 minus 9 to power 2. Why? Because 3 multiplied by 3 equals 9. We do the multiplication operation first. 23 minus 9, which equals 14. 14 power 2 equals 196, like this one. Perform the operation inside the bracket first, then the power. Okay? When you perform the operation inside the bracket, perform the multiplication operation before subtraction or addition. It will be 23 minus 9 all to power of 2 equals 196. Each one of them equals 7 to power 6. The first one equals 42. We can't use the rules of the powers because here we have different cases. 6 and 7 will be 42. 7 to power 5 multiply 7 power 1 equals 7 power 6. Put B here. B. 7 power 6 divided by 7 power 0 means 7 power 6 divided by 1. It will be 7 power 6. See also here. 7 power 2 multiply 7 power 3 equals 7 power 5. Not equal 7. Here D and A, we put A, like this one. Four power 3 equivalent to natural numbers, not equivalent to natural numbers. 4 power 3 equals 64, natural, because it's positive whole number. Negative 2 odd to power 3, this power is odd. If you have power odd and base negative, the result will be negative. The odd power keeps the negative sign. It will be negative 8. But if you have even power, you can cancel the negative. Any even power, cancel the negative sign in front of the base. Like negative 5 to power 2, which equals negative 5 times negative 5, negative multiplied by negative equals positive. If you have even power and negative base, cancel the negative sign, it will be 25. Cube root of negative number would be negative number. Cube root of negative 8 equals negative 2. Natural number must be positive. Positive number. Natural, like 4 power 3 and negative 5 power 2. Natural, because it's positive. What about the negative numbers? It's not natural, but this number and this number are integers. Integers contain positive, negative, and 0. 0 neither positive nor negative. Natural numbers, only positive whole numbers. Positive whole numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Must be positive. To be natural, must be positive. What about negative? Are not natural, but are integers. Put here negative 2 to the power 3 and keep root of negative 8 like this one. See you on the next session, inshallah. Goodbye.